YouTube, what is going on? This video is all about increasing FPS, stopping crashes, freezing, stutters, decreasing input lag, decreasing FPS drops, making your game look sexy and smooth at the same time. This is all in one video, people. Overall, your game will look and feel 1,000 times better. There will be something in this video that will help you even slightly, I'm sure. Now I'm going to say this before the video starts so that a large portion of you will instantly know what is wrong with your game. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to go press Control, Delete, and then go to your task manager, click Performance, and then Memory. This number right here will be how much RAM you have. If that number is 8 gigabytes or lower, you're going to have trouble playing this game. Absolutely, no matter what, 100% chance, there's no way around it. 8 gigabytes is the minimum requirements for this game to function. Keyword is function. Another 4 gigabytes or 8 gigabyte RAM stick is only around 30 bucks, so it really doesn't cost that much to solve a lot of your issues. Now, if you have more than 8 gigabytes of RAM, you're good to go. And something else in this video should help solve your problems. To start, we're going to go over everything we need to do outside of the game, and then we're going to dive into the in-game settings afterwards and how to set those up so you have the best performance and visibility as well. Alright, so first off, you're going to go into your BattleNet settings, go to options, and you're going to go to game settings, okay? And in game settings, you're going to want to add an additional command line argument, which is -D3D11. And you're going to want to put it in Modern Warfare and Cold War, so this will work for Modern Warfare as well. And what this does is D3D11 makes it so that it runs the game with DirectX 11 instead of DirectX 12. Now DirectX 12 is much newer and has a lot of issues, so DirectX 11 is a more stable version to run the game on. So in general, it's better to run the game on DirectX 11. So hit done and you're good to go with that. Now, some of you may be getting an error that pops up, it exits your game out, and it says something that has to do with scan and repair. If you get this error, the best thing for you to do is to go to your options on your BattleNet and click scan and repair. I mean, scan and repair, do it. Some people will get like an extra 3 gigabytes afterwards, so just do it. It might help your game. And also, some people say that this does not fix it. Another issue that could be related to this error is overclocking your graphics card. So a lot of people that have this error and can't seem to fix it have their graphics cards overclocked. So if that might be you, that might be an issue you're having, and we might just have to wait for an update. So this next trick is used to potentially increase FPS a little bit, but it will also decrease input lag. So this will be down in the link below in the description. It is called timer resolution, and what timer resolution does is it changes the input time for your system. The standard timer is 10 to 25 milliseconds, so the application will change that default timer, allowing your inputs to register faster. This also has been potentially used to increase FPS and decrease stutters as well. So what you need to do is you download it and it just opens right up. It's right here, and you just hit maximum. This will lower your current resolution, which could be at 1 millisecond or 1.5. It'll lower it to 0.5, so this will decrease input lag. And you leave it open, so just minimize it. And then when you're done playing the game, you can just exit out and it'll reset itself back to the default timer. This won't hurt your computer in any way, so don't worry about it, breaking your computer. This is perfectly safe to use. Now this next fix is an easy one. This will stop a lot of crashes and issues in general. And that is just going to show in Explorer, Cold War, opening it up, right-clicking on the Cold War game, properties, go to compatibility, and then you're going to want to go down and click run this program as an administrator. Run it as admin. It's that simple. A lot of people don't do it. You gotta run your program as administrator. Just do it, okay? Next, you wanna go to type here to search and go to game bar settings. So you can just type in DVR and game bar settings will pop up. In game bar settings, you're going to want to turn it off. Turn it all off. This is recording stuff in your game while you're playing. It's going to cause all types of FPS issues, crashes issues, stuttering issues. Make sure it's turned off. Okay. You can try turning game mode on. I don't really see a difference when I turn on game mode, so it's up to you. While we're talking about overlays here, make sure you go over to your in-game overlay and turn it off for Discord. If you have a Discord in-game overlay, that could also cause issues with stuttering, freezing, FPS, all that stuff. Another good practice to do is to just straight up go over to your G4 experience or whatever it is you use to upgrade and update your graphics drivers. Go there and make sure your drivers are updated. A lot of people still don't do this. I don't understand why. Like, I haven't even downloaded this one from yesterday. They come out every day. You need to have all these to make sure that the game isn't breaking, okay? So hit the download button on that newest driver and go ahead and do that. The last one is very specific to a certain issue that happens when you add RAM to your computer. And sometimes it'll just randomly happen too. So if you go to your memory, just check right here if your speed is what it should be. If your memory speed right here is the speed of your RAM sticks, then you're good to go. Sometimes this speed will show at like 1000 or something, so 1200. And if it shows down there, it means that your computer is underclocking your RAM. So you're going to need to manually go into BIOS and fix that. If you're having this specific issue, comment down below and I'll get on Discord and help you out with clocking your computer the right way. Alright, so if you have done all these things, you are ready to go and we can load up Cold War and get into the settings in-game. Alright, so now we're going to go through the settings here. I'm going to go into detail about some and less detail about others, but you should make all your settings this way and decide for yourself if you want to change it. But listen to everything I have to say. I'll give some options for a couple of these, so it is important that you listen to what I have to say about each one. Display mode, full screen, okay? Just keep it simple, full screen. You can do full screen windowed, but you should do full screen. Monitor 1, refresh rate, you're going to do whatever your monitor refresh rate is. So mine is 240 Hz, I'm doing 240 Hz. Gameplay VSync, you're going to want it disabled. VSync, you don't want VSync ever running, ever. It's going to cause a lot of input lag. Make sure you turn that off. Menu VSync disabled. So NVIDIA Reflex low latency, you're going to want to set it to enabled boosted. Render resolution 100. Now this, you could lower it and it will help your FPS, but it'll make your game look like shit. So keep it at 100. Aspect ratio automatic, display resolution 1920. Once you're playing in 4K, you're gonna dramatically decrease your FPS and stuff, so don't play in 4K. Now, field of view. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to change field of view to, if you're having FPS issues, you're gonna want to lower this. You're gonna want to lower this to 90, because how it works is you're rendering much less game when you're rendering a box that is much smaller. Okay, when you're rendering a much larger field of view, you're going to be rendering all those textures and models, and that's going to increase the demand on your computer. So if you're having issues with that, lower your field of view. If you want a little bit better of a view, I would change it to 100. It's not going to decrease your FPS much. ADS field of view, you're going to want affected. Now this is honestly up to opinion, but I would say use affected, okay? You can check out my Cold War FOV guide if you want to know more about that. Brightness, that's up to you. Frame rate limit. Custom, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set this to FPS underneath the hertz of your monitor, unless you have a 60 Hz monitor. If you have a 60 Hz monitor, just set it to 60. But if you have a 120, 144, 240 Hz monitor, change it to 2 FPS below the hertz of the monitor, so that G-Sync doesn't keep turning on and off, and when G-Sync turns on and off, it causes problems. So make sure it causes like stutters and things like that. So make sure that you just set it to 2 below so that G-Sync is always activated, it's always on. Texture quality, I set to medium. You can set lower, but medium is going to make your game look a lot better. If you really are having a lot of FPS issues, obviously you're going to want to set this lower and lower. So let's just say you're watching this video, you're having issues. So let's just go to low. Okay, lowest is too bad. Okay, you just keep it at low. Model quality, you're going to want it low. HD game textures and models, that shit's irrelevant right now because you guys are trying to play on low settings. You don't need that stuff. Special effects quality, medium. Screen space reflection, disabled. Object view distance, medium. Now you can set this to low, but it doesn't change much of anything, so I would say keep it at medium. Water titillation, disabled. Volumetric lighting, low. Shadow quality, low. Everything in the shadows needs to be disabled. They're not gonna change anything about your game, but they will help with FPS and things like that. Ray tracing, sun shadows disabled. All the ray tracing stuff needs to be disabled. Now, nvidia DLSS, this will 100% increase FPS in your game. So if you have an RTX card and you have this option and you go all the way to ultra performance, this will 100% help your game, but your game will look absolutely terrible. It will just look like complete shit. So you're honestly going to want to turn off DLSS, go to your anti-aliasing quality, and you're going to want to change it to low. Now, if you really have a lot of issues, you can change this to disabled, but it's not going to change much if you set it to low. And SMAA1X anti-aliasing seems to be the best in terms of getting a sharp image and seeing a nice clear straight image at 1920. So I think it's even better than some of the higher anti-aliasing, so I would use the low. Ambient occlusion quality disabled, motion blur disabled, motion blur quality low, subsurface scattering disabled, other order independent transparency low. So the VRAM usage target, I would keep it at 80%. You could go higher with 90%, but you'll see stuttering in return, so you might get like increased FPS, but you might get FPS drops. So it's not worth it in the long run. Just keep it steady at 80%. And display adapter, you're going to select your GPU, of course, and then you're going to apply all these things. And after you've applied them, you're going to click restart shaders compilation. And this will restart the shaders. And after these shaders are restarted, you will be good to go. Everything is set up. If you followed everything in this video, you made sure you've unchecked all the boxes, then and you still have issues, okay, if you still have issues after this point, then comment down below your specs of your computer. I'll take a look at the specs of your computer. If the specs of your computer aren't an issue, also let me know what your issue is. And if the specs of your computer don't match the issue and there's something else going on, we'll get to the bottom of it and I will try to help you as best I can. I don't know everything about computers, but I know a good amount and I will try my best. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that sub button. Only 1.2% of you guys are subscribed. Let's make that 2%. Thank you guys. Hope this helped you. Peace out.